Alright then, we are on for the third round of the Vision F1 series. Welcome everybody, welcome back, I should say to some of you, because most likely some of you have watched before. It is the third round out of this 11 round long season. We're here at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, the Jeddha Corniche circuit. Many of you are probably used to seeing this circuit in a, let's say, dark fashion. It is obviously used in the F1 series during a nighttime, as a nighttime race. It seems that for this day we aren't using that sort of, yeah, we aren't using nighttime. So a bit of a different one here. We're mixing it up. We're doing it during the daytime, but I think the track is quite cool either way. We're jumping straight into it. Yeah, we've got a long race ahead of us, I think, with hopefully not too many incidents. But we're having qualifying. 40 minutes left on the clock. The drivers are just about halfway during the outlap right now. Some are even still in the pits. I have high expectations of this race, I would say. It's good to be back, you know. Another week, another Sunday. But for the race, I have high expectations. You know, we've seen. I was looking earlier at the practice sheet, and who was, you know, fastest and so on. And it was actually looking like Eads. Luis Eads was showing a lot of talent, I should say. But he's looking very fast this Sunday afternoon or night, depending on how you want to see it or where you're in the world. As you see with Malone going to the pits again. Malone has reportedly been feeling quite ill this Sunday, so we're yet to see if he does the whole race or if he quits even before the race. So that is a question mark this weekend. But let's take a look at Vanotti then. He is opening his lap now. Can go on board. Is there anyone coming out of the pits? No, it is nice and tidy through the first chicane. Very quite tricky circuits on these corners, especially this one then, turn 3. Oof, very tricky. You don't want to, you know, hit that wall, but at the same time you have to go as close as possible to it. Now then, cars have been reported. Oh, touching the wall. Luca Vanotti going over that massive curve there, as we have Malone in front of him on an outlap as well. So is this Vanotti backing off then? Yeah, he got a bit caught up, it seems, in that wall and probably behind Malone as well. Or that might not have actually been Malone. Yes, it should have been Malone. Okay, so no improvement for Lucas, not yet at the moment. Fabio is setting the pace currently. He has the fastest millisecond out of any driver, heading down into the last corner now. Tricky circuit. Obviously, we've seen quite a few crashes here throughout the years of the circuit being used. I think the first time we used the circuit was in 2021. Might have been 2020, correct me if I'm wrong, but as you see Gal then abandoning his lap. I was going to say, we've seen quite a lot of crashes, especially through that last corner that we see once again here through Malone's eyes then. We had Max Verstappen in 2021, and one I remember recently is obviously Richard Hammond's daughter in the Formula E test. Had a massive shunt there. Everyone was okay, but you know, it's still something to remember. So this is a fun circuit, obviously Formula E races here as well, but on a different configuration, with the more chicanes I think, and some stuff like that. But you know, it's still nice to see it's not used only for Formula 1, and you can run quite different cars here. We've seen GT cars as well, and yeah, it's always fun to, you know, see the track owners mixing it up. As Franklin sets the pace, then he is on outlap now, but I see reported here that he has set a 1:28.3, so not the fastest. The time should be around 1:27, mid 1:27, I suspect, but you know, depends on how much these drivers are pushing them. And Gadrili is the third driver to have set lap time. I'm checking who is going out right now. So see, look at Vanotti then. He is opening once again, abandoning his last lap, only in the first second, I think. Right then, heading down into turn 3-4, depending on how you want to see it. Ooh, hard braking zone gets nice and stop there along the curb. Yeah, really good stuff for Luca Vanotti then. hitting every apex it seems. Avoiding that wall now, you know, he made that mistake on his first lap. Going very wide over that curve there, he's just bouncing all over. Now then, pushing up against that wall. Long left-hander. Getting the power line nice and tidy. 6th gear, 7th gear. Can we reach 8th? Obviously high downforce setup here, so 8th gear is almost never used. He's going to have a bit of traffic then. Ooh, as he almost oversteers into the wall. But it is nice and tidy DRS on then for the straight. Heading down into another sort of blind corner here. We just have to get as close as possible to these walls. Nice and tidy then for Luca Finotti. It's looking like a good lap for him. Obviously hasn't set any fast laps yet. As we see, Eads, like I talked about, setting the fast lap so far. Luca Finotti then heading down into the final corner of the track. Gets it nice and stop. A bit off the apex I would say there, but maybe it is a bit faster as well. We'll have to see where can he put himself. It's a 1:28.0, so not the fastest out of all the drivers. Obviously we've seen Luca Finotti with some varying results in the past 2 races then. Had a really good race at Barcelona, where he finished on the podium, and then after some minor incidents during the Kailami Grand Prix, or South African Grand Prix I should say, he was obviously demoted from the podium, so maybe not the race he wanted to come back from, but still hopefully he can do a better job this time around. I see us opening a lap, so who is out then? It is Bonardi setting a lap, I think. Yeah, it's an out lap for Bonardi as well, so let's go on board with him. I'm guessing that was an out lap at least. No, it was not. It wasn't. Okay then. So the drivers, everyone seems to have put on a lap now. Malone out lap as well, I think. Max Rush, our new German guy for this season. There's some as well varying results. This scene go very wide there. But still, let's see what he has to cook up for us. I think this is a hot lap, it should be, or qualifying lap. As a big lockup through the last corner there, that's going to cost him quite a lot then. Where does that put him? It is a long run down to the finish line. A 1:31.6 for Max Rush, so that puts him at the current 6th position of this race, parking it up nicely on the chicane there. Eads out lap. Luca Finotti is once again starting a lap it seems, so yeah, why not? Let's go on board. Now let's take a look from the outside at Luca Finotti once again then, as I pull up the current standings. I could do as well. Will he hit apex? Yep, nicely done there through the first chicane for Luca Finotti. He's currently 2/10 up almost, 1/10 up on his delta, so his best time. 2/10 up, yeah, that was really good there, not going too wide over the curb. First, it's the fastest first sector for Luca Finotti, so this is looking like a really good lap. 3/10 up on his best performance yet, as Franklin has gone P1 currently with a 1:27.5, so that is the time to beat for Luca Finotti then. Wheel spin. As I'm pulling up the standings. So as he currently stands, let's just take a look at it then for Luca Finotti. Tight through the wall. Oh, maybe some tackling there, we'll have to see. Hopefully not, but because it's looking like a really good lap for Luca Finotti. A personal best middle sector, so not the fastest, but still he is 3/10 up on his delta, and that should put him just about in front of Eads, I am suspecting. Of course, there is 5 minutes to go, 5.5 minutes to go almost through this session now. Luca Finotti then over the line goes P2, 1:27.748. Almost 300s difference between him and Eads currently. And is Eads actually going over the track now? No, he's still in open lap. Okay then. We have Malone in P4 currently. who is trying his best at the hot lap. I'll have to see. It's a yellow first sector, so yellow obviously means not an improvement either track-wise or just personal best-wise. So I think it's time that we go through the standings then. We have Luke Franklin on 2 back-to-back wins, 50 points leading, with Malone then on 30 points behind. Obviously he got bumped up a few places last time round due to some incidents with other drivers. So 2 podiums for him. We then have Luca Pinotti 2 points behind Malone with 28 points total, with 1 podium, and I think it was a 4th or 5th place actually last time round. Eads then trailing them behind at same points actually as Vanotti, so a shared 3rd place for them right now with 28 points, podium each. So these 2 drivers are looking like they're competing against each other quite well right now. Counting out then the top 5 to 10 is Diaz in 5th, Quadri in 6th, Max Prunings after his debut race for this season last time around in 7th with 12 points, showing that 5th position with Diaz and Quadri all on 12 points. Jit 11 points in 8th place, Fabio Gal in 9th place with 8 points, and Godfrey counting out the last 10 then with 6 points. As you see, Malone on an outlap as well. We're gonna take a look at Eads instead. So Eads was looking promising in the practice sessions. Let's see, can he back it up? It's looking like a good lap so far. He's run out of battery, I think, there on the straight. So some battery management needed there for Eads. As he gets a bit of a slipstream then, I think, through these last couple of corners, but it's not going to help him. It's a yellow middle sector. He's 1/10 down his best lap. Yeah, this is not an improvement for Eads. At least none that will put him in a better position right now. With Franklin in the pits, Vanotti as well in the pits. 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. So just about 1 or maybe, if you fast enough, 2 laps to go of this qualifying session then. As we see Bonardi taking on a lap, he is 3/10 up on his best best lap, I should say. As you see, this you know, it's a very flowy circuit, and it's always fun to see these cars with so much grip just barely lifting through some of these corners and just turning in, turning out, turning in, turning out. I mean, it's amazing to see what humans can achieve with what we've achieved over the last 100 years, you know, with the machinery. 4/10 up then on his best time, Bonardi, almost 5th and 5/10 up. It is looking like a good lap for Bonardi, at least compared to the people in front. He's currently occupying P9. We have 13 drivers total this race, so a bit fewer than we've probably wanted, but still, you know, it's always nice to see these races luring in some drivers from a bit of everywhere, you know. As we see a big lockup for Bonardi then in the last corner. That is going to ruin his lap. Alright. Who is out on track? Franklin's out on track. I think he is getting quite a bit scared that someone will knock him down. Malone then going through the final corner. He is going to be almost 1/10 up on his best. Is that going to put him anywhere better? I don't think so. No, it's not. He is still 7/10 behind P1 currently. So he is occupying P4 with Eads in front of him, almost 4/10 in front actually. So we're seeing bigger gap than usual here in qualifying. Obviously we touched on Malone being quite ill before the race, but so maybe it is that, or maybe it's just not. He's not quite comfortable here. Comfortable here at this street track. As I got my tongue a bit tangled. Eadsten is out and he is improving. He's almost 1/10 up. Ooh, that too fast actually? No, it's really good finish to the first sector then. Personal best first sector. He's up to 1/10 on his best time. He needs 2.5 tenths to improve. And that would push him either P1 or P2. As you see, what is the best lap currently? The best lap currently is 1:27.5 from Franklin, so that was the lap we heard about earlier. As Eadsten, he's finding a lot of pace now, but at the same time we see it again, he's losing, you know, on the back straight there, he's losing a lot, just because he doesn't have enough energy stored in the battery. So he was almost 2 tenths up on his best, but now he's lost down to 1 tenth once again. Was that his teammate actually giving him a bit of a tow? Yes, it was. So his teammate helping enough, then he wants him in front of Luca Vanotti, but it isn't going to be enough for Eads to improve. It seems going over the line, yeah, he's 3 tenths off his best. So not what he wanted, but still P3 start for Eads is really good. As we see Fabio Gal, his first hot lap it seems. His first counter lap at least. What is it gonna be? It's gonna be a it is a that's a shame. That lap wasn't counted for Fabio Gal, so he'll be starting in P13 and P14 is counted out by Jorge Gales, none of them getting a time on the board. Alright then, let's take a look at our top 10. We have Franklin, Vanotti, Eads making out top 3. Malone then, Al-Akbarli in P5. A driver as well with varying results. Obviously we're going to have 2 races this season, but you know, in Spain he did a really great job. I think was up in P3, P4 at sometimes during the race. A new Azerbaijani driver here, putting in some really good efforts, especially at this track it seems. I will say though, 2 seconds off the pole lap of Franklin, so we're going to see if Franklin can pull a gap to P5 respectively P4. As there is 2 minutes to go, we then have Diaz in P6, Max Rush P7, Quarter 8, Gadirli in P9 and Bonardi P10. So I wouldn't say it was an unusual starting grid, but you know, we've seen some names pop up where we're not used to them. So for example, you know, Alec Barley, he has qualified, you know, good over the last couple of races, but this is definitely one of his standout performances, you know. Alright then, short break until the race starts, 1 minute 20 on the clock. As the drivers prepare for lights out and away we go. 25 laps of racing. As you see then, that is Malone, I think, disappearing from the starting grid, so his illness seems to have been getting the better of him, as it seems he's not taking the start at this race. No, he is back actually. Right, 10 seconds to lights out. We have Franklin, Vanotti and Eads taking out top 3 with Malone in P4. Our usual top 4, I wasn't going to say trio, but quartet it is. As it's lights out of the way go, it's a good start for Franklin. It's chaos in the back then for some of the back markers, but Franklin leads us off. There's a spin in the background. What's that? It was Malone on Eads. Oh, that is a shame, as Max Rush goes past some people as well. There's chaos in the back of the first corner. Okay, a lot of position changes here as Eads comes out in last place. That is a shame to see. It was looking so promising. I wonder if there's going to be a penalty. I wasn't quite sure what happened there. I am not quite sure what happened there. As we see, Quadri and Gadrili seem to have spun or collided then, as he tumbles through the field. Alright, but he gets going again. That's nice to see. Eidsen has gained 2 positions so far, from dropping down to last place. So Franklin still leaving us off 6 tenths already to Vanotti, with Malone 7 tenths behind Vanotti. So top 3 already pulling the gap. Diaz 2 seconds behind these top 3 drivers now. As you see, Fabio Gal hunting down Alak Barley. Is he going to take the inside through this corner? Oh, he is, as they go wide. A bit of a touch there, I think, as well for Alak Barley and Gal. But still, good racing so far. We obviously wanted to keep it on track, but I do love me some action. I will say that. As then Gadrili going on the inside of Max Rush to this last corner. Will he get it done? He actually gets it stopped then. Goes past Max Rush, I think. Franklin sets the fastest opening lap. As Malone goes past Luca Fanotti then with DRS. So good start for Malone. Also had that incident with Eads, I think, on the first lap. So we can see if there's anything with that. But hopefully, we obviously don't want too many penalties. That's not real racing. So yeah, we want it done on track. But yeah, let's see where this race goes then. Vanotti hunting down Malone, 7 tenths behind, as Franklin is pulling away from these top 2. So they don't want to battle too much, but at the same time, you want to be P2, you want to be first, you want to be before the other guy, you know. So these guys, you see if they, you know, stay behind each other and work together now, or if they're gonna hunt down each other and let Franklin go then. Franklin already has been the dominant driver this season so far. 2 consecutive wins, one at the opening round and round 2 obviously. So, and it's looking like a good race so far from him. Obviously we have 23 laps to go, almost 22 laps, so maybe a bit too soon to say, but it's looking good. It's looking good for Franklin. As there's a lot of action it seems in the rest of the field, as we see Galden moving on. Who is that? Diaz in the yellow car there. As he makes a move down into the last corner. He gets it done actually. But is that going to leave him vulnerable? I think it will to Diaz then. With DRS. Is he going to go for a move? I doubt it. He's too far behind currently. With Alec Barley racing behind, as we see in the mirrors there. So Diaz then is the closest guy to anyone on track, as we see Lewis Eads pitting already. So either that was a bit of damage then in the first chicane incident I saw on lap 1. It's a long pit stop for Eads, as we see him have some sort of problem then. Same to see. Alright, Alec Barley then following Diaz behind. Diaz also looking at a move at Fabio Gal. So these 3 drivers in fighting for basically 5th position then. As we see, Max Rushman seems to have made a mistake there. No, fighting for P4, sorry. That was really confused there for a moment. These top 3 these 3 drivers fighting for 4th position. Now just, yeah. Right, moving on. As we see Gal going. Oh, he's cutting the track. He did not gain on it though. So the Alec Barley and Diaz going fast as Diaz leads these guys on. A lot happening on these open laps. Whoa! As there's a shunt for Alec Barley right into the wall. He gets going though with good speed as well, so no worries there. But he loses the position to Fabio Gal. So a lot of mistakes happening for some of these drivers. Now the question remains, has Eads gotten it to go again? No, he's still in the pit. So something has happened to Lewis Eads. Unfortunate. But let's take a look at his teammate. Luke Franklin leading this race currently with almost 2 seconds to Malone. Good jump from him so far. Solid start from him. Taking the lead early on. Starting from the lead obviously, but still, you know, holding on to that lead through the first chicane, which the first chicane opens up for quite a few moves during the start, or rather it invites for a few moves, but he kept that position. Nicely done for him. Seems a big gap in from the top 3 to 4th, already 11 seconds to Diaz in 4th from Bernardin, occupying P3 currently. There's cars on track, will they get going again? As some of them have been reported then going back to pits. Unsure of what happened there, but they don't seem to be a track hazard currently. So definitely some issues for Rush and Gadrile, I think it was. Gadrile, I would say. Sorry, I've been mispronouncing that name before. I don't think they'll be able to rejoin this race, unfortunately. So now the drivers are spreading out quite a lot then. We see Matt Rush and Gadrile, who seem to have had some sort of incident tumbling through the field in the pits. I suspect they will not be rejoining this race. Malone battling with the car already. Why not take a look at tyre choices? Always fun to see different strategies with these drivers. So Franklin going on C3, our top 3 drivers going on C3 tyres, the medium compound, as we see the yellow out of the tyres, which would most likely indicate that they're going to go mediums for quite a short bit of the race, I would say, and then go hards, because obviously Saudi with these twists and turns is a very high leg circuit. And these tyres are probably not going to last too long. We've had, talks with the drivers before on these tyres, and they don't seem to hold up as good as some of the other tyres. As well, we saw in Barcelona, at certain tracks, the harder tyre is almost as fast as the medium tyres. So hopefully I shouldn't say hopefully, but some of these drivers will probably switch from these tyres quite soon, or early on, I should say. As Diaz then doing the opposite strategy in P4 with going on the hardest compound already from the start, and that is a mixture of different tyres throughout the field. With Bonardi actually going on C4 tyres, so that is one tyre softer than the tyres usually qualifying. So interesting strategy from him. He might go short on these C4 tyres and then go really long on these C1 tyres, I'm guessing. As we have 3 drivers then not being able to continue in this race, it seems, in the pits. As Fabio Gall, as I'm speaking, is taking a pit stop. Unsure of what happened there. Yeah, let's move on from that. The stewards will have a look at that, I think, as well, because he was out on track, I'm pretty sure, and did not go into the pits in the normal way. So yeah, the stewards will have a look at that. Yeah, as he switches tyres as well. So something's been going on there, but Franklin then still putting on that lead, 2 seconds, with 2 seconds lead to Malone and a 2 seconds different from Malone to Vanotti in P3. So already gaps forming on this very tight circuit. So no one's really close to anybody at the moment, which is unfortunate for us. Obviously, we won some action. Those first laps were quite amazing for us. But yeah, as we see, Alec Barley then pitting on. Is he already on C2 tyres? So that is an interesting choice for him going into the pits. As that is a steering issue or suspension issue for him. So some damage to be fixed to that car of Alec Barley. And I'm guessing it's going to be C1 tyres for him as well when they come out. Obviously that damage is going to take some time for him to repair. car is fixed now, and he goes out on, yeah, C1 tire. I see a white wall already from here. So some quick damage fixing there for him as he goes out once again. Then comes out in P9 currently. We've got to be 2 seconds behind. I think he is about to get lapped as well, yeah. So see him, that is Al-Akbali in front here as we're looking at the onboard of Luke Franklin leading this race currently. So hopefully he doesn't get too much caught up in this blue flag car of Al-Akbali. I've seen some issues with these guys I should say, these back markers, both for the leaders. They have both helped and not helped, so to say, in previous events, especially in the last season, but not too many issues this season so far. I haven't heard reported actually with back markers. As Franklin is closing that gap then to the blue flag Al-Akbali, and Al-Akbali lets him go nice and easily on this straight, or say twist straight. See Luke Franklin just looking so confident and so calm in this race currently. You see it in the way he moves, he's doing really, you know, he knows what he's doing. He just keeps going, breaks in right up there, gets it stopped, turns in, hits the apex, out to the wall, and keeps going on the straight. You know, it's really good. It's really nice to see these riders when they are like, when they're in their form, you know, really. Just really pushing. They know what they're doing, hitting every apex, bam, bam, through the chicane, still a good lap. He's losing a bit now, so these tires are probably giving way for him. Not getting too close to the wall there, but still, you know, there's centimeters to be discussed there. Full throttle through this section, slight lift, slight brake with downshift, and then full throttle again. So it's amazing to see these cars going through these sort of sections. As we see, Vanotti is going to come out of the pits, I'm guessing that is. Yes, so Vanotti has pitted, and he is currently how many? He's 22 seconds behind Malone, so pit stop then should be approximately 20 seconds. We can count on, as he was 2 seconds behind us. This most likely damage there from that wall tap. So pit stop being 20 seconds approximately. As he comes out on C1 tires behind Malone as well. So he hasn't lost any positions, which is vital for Luca Vanotti in this race. If he wants to, you know, gain anything. His main is looking not so good currently for it, not every wall possible. Not every wall possible, but I'm being a bit harsh, but he's finding the walls much more on this opening lap than he has before. Not quite used to these tires it seems, and they haven't really fired up so far, I'm guessing, so just settling in on these new hard tires, which he's going to be driving 15 laps of. Franklin then has not decided to pit this lap either. He is currently pulling a almost 4 second, 3.5 second gap to Malone behind. Dominant race once again for him. Obviously Malone's most likely will have some damage with that contact with Eads on the first lap. See another back marker. I think this is the most action we're going to get actually on this Sunday afternoon or evening, whatever you want to call it. I haven't found it afternoon because it's quite sunny here in Sweden. So this guy hasn't begun to darken just yet, but he is closing in on the back marker. And who is that then? Is that Quadri? Yes, it is. It is Chris Quadri. Also a new driver actually, Chris Quadri this season, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, exactly, from Italy, new driver this season. Has had some mixed results. We've seen a lot of ups and downs in general this season. Obviously, there's only been 2 races so far, but, you know, a lot of ups and downs in driver performances all over the grid, I would say. So interesting stuff. As we see that Franklin heading down in the pits, he doesn't want to tango with Chris Quadri then. Now let's see, it's going to go on the same strategy as Vanotti, I'm guessing he will. As we see Malone pitting as well behind that. Alright, when are they going to come out? Obviously we saw a almost 3 second gap a bit longer actually to Franklin from Malone. As you see, Franklin already leading this. Okay. The interesting stuff is going to be, where does Luca Panotti come out? Is he going to come out ahead of Malone even? Or where is Panotti? He is heading down. He sees Malone in front of him. Okay, so yeah, Malone losing out just a slight bit behind there. But the gap seems to be staying almost the same as before, as that I think is a back mark in front. Yes, that is Godfrey in front of Luca Panotti then. So Luca Panotti going past, nice and easily there. Godfrey letting him by, really good from Godfrey. Luca Panotti then, 1.5 seconds. He has already fired up his... Oh no! As that is a back marker. Who was that? That was Bonardi in the way of Luca Panotti, and that is a really dangerous place to stand on, as we've seen for Bonardi. Where does that leave Panotti? It leaves him 5 seconds behind Malone. Well, he's dropped by 5 seconds, I should say. Godfrey got past him again, and that is a lot of damage to that car, I'm guessing. So it's not going the way of Luca Panotti currently, and that is a shame to see. The gap doesn't seem to be increasing for Luke Franklin either. Still 3.5 seconds to 4 seconds to Malone. So let's see the current lap times. What are they running? My menu works. Yeah. So Franklin's best lap 1:33 and Malone's best 39. So quite a huge difference then. But obviously it's not counting your best lap, it's counting the laps you can put in consistently in a race. This is not qualifying anymore, so you need to be consistent during a race, is what I'm trying to say. And obviously Malone seems to be a bit more consistent with his pace compared to Franklin, with obviously better pace but not as consistent. There was a lot of consistency there. But alright then, it's looking like a good lap for Franklin, already almost 2/10 up on his best lap. So he is settling in nicely on these C1 tires. It's always such a joy to see them, turn in and like, oh, they're gonna hit the wall, they're gonna hit the wall, and you get a bit nervous, but I don't think Franklin is nervous. I think he is calm and collected, getting a nice, a bit of lock up there, slight lock up, but still almost 3/10 up on his best lap, then going a bit wide in the last part. He seems to have used quite a lot of battery actually on that lap. We can see from the Delta he was losing a lot of time in these straights. That is most likely because of battery deployment. As fastest lap goes to Malone with a 1:29.9. That is a huge improvement for him then. So Malone is looking like he has a lot of pace currently. 3.3 seconds behind Franklin, so he is catching, judging by the last lap. But is it going to be enough? There's still almost, let's say, half a race to go. 12 laps of racing. Still a lot can happen in those last laps. As I think Bernardi has also, he is rejoining the track. Alright, I was a bit scared that he is DNF this race as well, but he is rejoining the track. He's a lap behind the course, but still, good to see him not being too affected with that crash from Luca Panotti earlier on the previous lap. Franklin then, another back marker in front. I'm guessing that is Alakbarli again. Yes, it is. Alakbarli has not pitted yet, then it seems, as he would be behind Franklin, so Franklin having to catch him up again. But he let him go quite nicely there. Obviously, Alakbarli has a big gap behind, has a big gap in front, so no need to be battling Franklin on a lap ahead. But let's just take a look then from the wing view, my favorite view of these cars. Just to see, you know, how tight they go to the wall and just give you a sense of the speed basically. So this is one of my favorite corners on this track, I have to be honest. I like the track in general, but that one is just so smooth. If you, I don't know, it's just a perfect corner in some sense. It's, you know, banked, and this section is also really nice when you get the right place, and Franklin seems to have done that. Yeah, I like this track in general. Some people don't like it, of course, saying that, oh, it's you know, historic tracks and so on in the F1 calendar instead. Which I totally agree. You know, I love the European races as much as anybody else. I've been to Imola a couple of times, so I'm sad to see that go, or at least be going for some of the years coming forward. But I also like these new tracks. I think they provide relatively good racing and special racing, as well as the atmosphere, of course. But yeah, a bit of a political controversy as well with these sort of races. But just judging from the track, I think they are really nice. As Malone then once again setting a fastest lap, 1:29.7. He's currently almost gained, what is that, half a second in the last lap, almost a bit more, a second or so. So Franklin losing out a bit of time, or rather Malone gaining a bit of time on Franklin. So a lot going on now. Now the question remains, can Malone keep that up though? 10 laps to go. It's a very, very high dig track we've seen before. Hopefully hasn't underestimated his tyres, but it's looking like a good race for Malone then, except for that incident on lap 1. Menotti is still in P3, has 9 seconds to Luke Franklin. No, he has 11 seconds to Luke Franklin, actually 11-12 seconds about. As you see Franklin then going past another black marker, that is Chris Quadri then. So yeah, the field very spread out right now, which is unfortunate for us because that means not a lot of action and I have to entertain you guys in some way, but yeah. I'm unsure of this because I said last time around that I was going to you know, say the track corners and so on, but I'm unsure if Jeddha Corniche actually has any track corners of that sense, as Malone is slowing down quite a lot. So a big moment for Malone. Loses down to 4/10 to Franklin. Luke Franklin currently occupying P1, I've said that before, and Menotti then 8-7 seconds behind Malone. So we're gonna, I think, just up as that is Diaz hitting the pits then. Where is he gonna come out? He's gonna come out in front of Fabio Galcas. There's quite a big gap to him. I like Barley then. Oh, finally some fighting. I was gonna look at the corner names, but I can do that later. Let's look at Alec Barley fighting for position with Chris Quadri from Italy, Alec Barley from Azerbaijan, a new driver, both new drivers this season. Alec Barley with the DRS isn't quite close enough just yet. Oh, going a bit wide there. I'm not turning into too much, I guess. 3/10 behind, almost 2/10 behind now. Will he make a move? Yes, he will. Down to the last corner. Slight lock up for Alec Barley, but he gets the move done. Chris Quadri follows him behind. 2/10 behind, but Chris is going to have DRS. Oh, this is the racing you want. As Alec Barley slotting behind Chris Quadri again. So, as it is a huge shunt for Alec Barley. Full opposite lap as well. Going into the wall under braking. Maybe a little bit of concentration loss as he is oversteering all over the place, Alec Barley now. Chris Quadri then seems to have lost something as well in that corner. Alec Barley hits the wall. Oh, it is messy. That balance of the car is tricky, and it's especially tricky now with that damage. Who's that going by them then? That seems to be Luca Fanotti. Yes, Luca Fanotti got through that. those couple of cars very nicely. So as soon as we had some action, it resolved into chaos then, fortunately. But that means we can follow Diaz for a couple of laps, because I don't think we've talked about him too much, but I'm going to look at the corner names for you. Yeah, so as I suspected, being in such a new track and with a lot of corners, it doesn't really have the corner names, unfortunately. We had a lot of fun ones last time around, like Kailami, in corners like the barbecue and sunset. I think that's always a nice feature of racing at certain tracks with interesting history and corner names that are 4-hour long Le Mans race. As Diaz spins, hits the wall, gets going though, but that is going to leave him with a lot of rear damage, I think. As you see, is that then Franklin getting past Diaz as well. Yes, okay. So a lot of small incidents in this race. It is what I suspected, but nothing huge in that sense. Lonely going past Godfrey, backmark as well. As you see then, Malone is almost 5 seconds now behind Franklin, so he's dropped off quite significantly, especially on pace-wise, after some sort of incident earlier on. He was almost 2 seconds behind Franklin, but he has lost that fight. So still, a dominant start for Franklin, or start I should say, race for Franklin. 6 laps to go. It's looking like he's got this in the bag, but I shouldn't say too much. I have a tendency of when I'm speaking, something bad happens. Hopefully not here, I should say. Yeah, it's going good. Alright. Still 5 seconds to Malone, and Banotti has 8 seconds to Malone. In front of him, of course. And the field is still very split up, as we see Alec Barlin pits. I don't think that is a normal pit stop, I think that is a DNF pit stop, if that makes sense. I think he is quitting this race, unfortunately. So a lot of accidents this race, and a lot of people not being able to finish it. As Gal then goes, they seems to be lagging a bit. There's blue flashing lights indicating that. Heads down. Ooh, there's a huge catch for Gal after the first chicane. Okay, he's lagging quite a bit. I don't think we can keep watching him, unfortunately, because this is not looking. He is up on his delta, but it's looking really laggy as we see them for Fabio Gal. Could that have been part of the first lap incident? Who knows? Now I'm just speculating. But yeah, it's been a quite boring race, if I'm being honest, for some of you. A lot of stuff happening in the first part of the race, as there's someone standing still in the last part of the lap. Who is that then? That is... They seem to have been getting on once again then. I'm guessing... I forgot it's Diaz. Is Diaz standing still as well? What is going on currently? Oh, I see him rejoins right in front of Godfrey. Was that Vanotti? No, who was it? I'm unsure. But Diaz then. with that incident, has dropped behind Jorge Morales, who takes over P4. Now this is some racing then. Hopefully we can keep on following each other. I want some action, and I think you guys do as well. 5 tenths behind, 6 tenths behind Jorge Morales. There should be some damage to that car. Diaz, I think we saw it crash earlier on as well, so it's not going to be an easy ride for Diaz. But he gets it nicely stopped, not using all the track on MTX, so he has DRS now. Will that help him though? He has a lot of damage. Will he want to go for the move? I'm unsure. He's not currently looking for it, but if he can follow out another lap, I think he might be able to get behind or in front of Jorge Morales. Some battering lines there we see as well, depending on just how much you want to use the track, I guess. As Alec Barley seems to have left the game, yes. Okay then, Diaz, 3 tenths behind. Is he looking for a move already? No, he stays behind. He knows that it's better to wait. He might be able to do it in the next coming DRS zone after these couple of corners here. He's gonna have DRS now. 2 tenths behind. You're gonna see that gap drastically change, I think. 2.5 tenths. He's not quite there, especially not for this corner. He stays behind once again. But he's following really good. He wants to get by. He has the better pace, but he has a damaged car. So that puts them almost equal on pace right now, I should say. 4 tenths behind them. With DRS heading down to the last corner, he doesn't get there. Maybe on this straight we'll have DRS once again. But obviously damage to that car means he's not quite getting by. 4 tenths behind, almost losing a bit on the straight as well. But now he's gaining with the battery. He doesn't quite get there still. 3 laps to go. He has 3 laps to get by Jorge Morales. I think we're gonna stick with this battle for quite a while now. Not a lot of action going on around the track. We saw some sort of incident there with Diaz and Jorge Morales. Jorge Morales continues though. As Chris Corniche takes over that position from Diaz, so Diaz's car not being able to race properly, it seems. No balance issues there. So 4 drivers in total not being able to continue this race. 5 drivers in total actually, sorry, because he is still in the pit and he has not returned. Franklin then starting his 23rd lap out of 25. It's been a dominant race for him. He is 6 seconds in front of Malone right now. But just looking at the best laps here, then Malone has had the superior pace, but some sort of incident seems to have taken off his pace. So I am unsure if we'll have replays of that later on posted on the channel, but unfortunate for him. 4 tenths better lap than Franklin, but Franklin and Malone then now seems to be matching, as the gap between the drivers is not quite going down or up. So looking at Chris Corniche then, new driver, he's currently, I'll say in quotation marks, hunting down Jorge Morales there. I'm unsure, I don't think he'll be able to catch up. It's a long second to catch up in quite a few laps, but he gained a lot there, I will say, gained a lot there, and it's looking like a good lap for him. So let's keep watching Chris Corniche then from Italy. Forza Chris. Franklin has just about started his penultimate lap of this Jeddha Corniche circuit. Still 5.5 seconds ahead of Malone, so no issues there. It's just a matter of taking it home now for Franklin. Still, it is a treacherous circuit, so we never know. He might have a sprint somewhere, but hopefully not. Hopefully it's a safe finish for Franklin. Luke Franklin then. This would be his third consecutive win this season. A hat-trick, if you will, I guess that is called in football terms. So yeah, dominant season for Franklin. He was showing promise of this last season round, I would say, at some of the races, but now it really seems like he's shining and he is very dominant in this league currently. Chris Buddington has almost made that gap down to 1 second currently. A bit more. Could there be damage to Jorge Vel's car? I suspect so, but damage as well to Chris Corniche's car, there should be. So now he's almost 7 tenths behind. Could we see a move on the last lap? I think it's very much possible. Jorge is losing a lot of time now. As Franklin starts his final lap with the first chicane. I'm going to stick with Chris Corniche then though. As you see, Luke Franklin going through on the minimap. Switch back to him in the end. Corniche, DRS behind on the back straight. Final straight of this circuit, depending on how you want to see it. Oh, goes for a move down to the last corner. Is there going to be some contact? No, there's not. There's a lot of movement there, but he gets it stopped nicely. His bowler's behind. Will he have DRS? He will have DRS as well on Jorge. It's nicely played there for Chris Corniche. I keep messing up that name, but Jorge, will he respond though? I'm unsure, I don't think so. Luke Franklin then on the back part of the lap currently. It's just a matter of bringing it home for him. But I'm going to take a look then at Jorge because they're really tight currently. But Jorge is losing time in these twisty bits. Obviously, these cars can't follow too good in these corners. But yeah, we're most likely going to see an attempt of a move at least. But Franklin then heading down into the last corner. It's another dominant win for him. Going past the pit entry, down through the start finish line. 3 consecutive wins. Started third, Luke Franklin did. Moved up to P1, so really nice race for him. Yeah, what more can I say? I mean, he's looking solid this season. As it is Malone in P2 and Luca Fanotti in P4. No, P3, sorry. As you see some sort of message there from race control. But yeah, Malone P2, Luke Fanotti P3. We have Godfrey P4, Chris Corniche then P5. Still battling with Jorge to go to the line. Jorge is 3 times behind. Is he going to be able to make a move? I suspect he is not going to be able to make a move. Oh, it's a... oh shit, that's my... so my game seems to have crashed there. Or something about it. Something like it. That is interesting to say the least. Alright, I think it is time for some interviews then. Unsure of what happened there in the end. But I can tell you that Jorge Gales actually did get by Chris Corniche. It was a matter of milliseconds there, I think. But yeah, it was a penalty as well for Chris Corniche, which put him behind Jorge Gales. Only just about 3 tenths separating them over the finish line without that penalty for Chris Corniche. As I think we're gonna take a short break and then move on to the interviews. Alright, it seems that interviews will not be held at this race. There's a lot of people discussing currently in the cooldown room, so unfortunate for that. I will say though, this is my last race commentating for Vision F1, unfortunately, due to some personal reasons. But it's been a fun ride with you guys. But yeah, this is my last race commentating. I'm unsure if the replays will keep coming after this race. That is not up to me. But yeah, fortunately with that, I will leave you guys to it then. So bye bye for now. See you now. See you guys. Oh, I won't see you guys. But the next round is Imola, round 4 out of 11. Yeah. Well, it's been a fun ride with you guys. Hope to see some of you next week if there is a replay. Well, bye bye.